I am Adeline. I will share about spiritual things. You may hear what you never heard, but we share what happened in our personal life so that we can become wiser. I will share today how spiritual battle happen. We know that angels and the Lord himself fight for us, but in truth we also fight by ourselves, and the Lord want us to fight by ourselves, and the Lord expect us to engage our enemy and fight them by ourselves because he had delegated power and authority in our hand. When we fast and pray our spirit becomes stronger. The Lord has put in our disposal weapon of war that we must learn to use. I will talk about how a false prophet sent people, soldiers and police of the spirit world to kidnap me. Just like we hear of kidnapping in the physical world, there are also kidnapping in the spiritual world. We know that we are locked in spiritual battle, even when we don't know our spirit is facing battle 24 hours. I did not know that people came to kidnap me in the spirit. Nevertheless, it happened when I was not aware. Even if you are not aware of the battle, it is still happening, and the things you see in dreams is an insight of the battle perpetrated by the enemy in your life. I always share personal experience so that we can get wiser and adjust our prayer life. You can be washing the dish in broad daylight and at the same being locked in spiritual confrontation in the spirit. The battle that is permitted in our life correspond to our spiritual level. We are not all in the same spiritual level. If you are spiritually elevated, the enemy will come against you in your level, and if you are in a lower level, he will come against you at your level. And when a battle is beyond your level, the Lord will not let you fight that battle. The Lord and his angel will fight in your stead. Even the enemy know that he cannot bring to us battle that is beyond our level. That is why no temptation that come to us is beyond our level. It is through continual prayer and a lot of fasting that our power increase. Many are unaware of things happening the spiritual level of their life, but the Lord granted me to always see what is happening in my life in the unseen level, and these things have consequences in the physical level. At this moment there are things that are happening in your life at the spiritual level. That's why when you decide to fast and pray, you start seeing dreams of things happening in the spiritual world that affect your life. The Lord granted me to see things that happen in the spirit because he knew that I will be sharing with his people so that we may become wise. The knowledge of the word is crucial. It is the sword of the spirit with which we fight. I did not know that while I was sleeping people came to kidnap me. That's when the Lord said, "Wake up, Adeline, there are people on the way and they are coming to kidnap you." That's when I woke up and began to pray even though I did not know who they were. In the morning the Lord spoke and told me, "Adeline, the people that came to kidnap you were sent by the false prophet Marcello that you exposed and rebuked in public. They came against you when you were sleeping, but they were in for a great defeat. They were beaten and they ran away escaping the beating. Pastor Marcello sent people in the spirit against me because of the revelation I shared, where God showed me that he drank blood every Sunday after the church service. Normally in this scenario the Lord himself take my spirit and let me fight my opponent, but in this instance the Lord fought for me. The forces that the evil pastor sent to kidnap me were superior. In the second occasion I did this video where the Lord revealed that the false prophet had slaughtered his wife in human sacrifice, and that the blood of his wife is demanding justice against him, that the false prophet sent another gang of wizards to come and capture me. Whenever I see myself fighting my enemy in vision and dream, it always a fight where I am punching them in the name of Jesus and beating them with my bare hand. Those who are in continual battle know what I am talking about. Often when my prayer life is weak I find it hard to overpower my enemy. When I cannot win I would see myself flying. When my enemy fly to catch in the sky, they will not be able to reach the height of sky where I take refuge. Often I encountered opposition in the height of the sky. If my prayer life are weak, even if I put up fight I will not pass. It is when my prayer life is strong that I will not be stopped. For when the enemy see me coming they will run away because you have the power. Prayer is the key. It is thanks to a life of prayer that we are able to overcome in the spirit world, and when you win in the spirit world there will be consequences in the material world. You have to learn to win in the spirit if you want victory in the flesh, for everything begin in the spirit. The sword of the spirit. When I knew nothing about spiritual armor, I was praying when I saw that I was holding a sword that I was sharpening, a sword that seemed precious to me. I did not know what to make of it. I wonder, what am I doing with a knife? What does it mean? In the evening I saw the same thing again in a dream where I was sharpening a sword and making it ready for use. It seems that a battle was. When I saw this vision of the sword for the third time, I said, Lord, what is the meaning of this? Am I a subconscient witch to prepare a knife to kill somebody? When I told my husband about the knife that I am dreaming, he told me the knife that you are seeing is a sword, which is one of the weapon and armor of the Spirit spoken in Ephesians. I calmed down and recover my peace after being reassured, but the vision of the sword continue. One morning after prayer at dawn, I went to sleep at 7 a.m. That's when I saw that I was sleeping outside in the altitude beneath the ground, as if it was a bed. I said, Lord, I am sleeping on the bed, how come I ended up sleeping outside in the altitude? Immediately I felt the presence of the Lord. He told me, fear not, I brought you outside because evil people are coming to your place to assault you. They are on the way, they will arrive very soon. I don't want them to find you inside the house. When the Lord was telling me stay there, I saw a black car arriving. It seems like a funeral car. Men and women came out of the car and they were dressed in black as if it was a funeral. I was surprised because I expected them to be naked. I then saw the car leaving when they got. Actually these people took a taxi to come and attack me. If there are taxi in the material world, there are also taxi in the spirit world. Then I observed these people spreading their arms and flying upward like bird reaching the 4th level of the building where I was living. At that moment the Lord said to me, Adeline, I am leaving you. But don't go back in your house until you are sure all your enemy that came to capture you had left. Before going back be sure that they have left. I said, Lord, how will I go back? He said, just the way you left. These evil characters entered my house to capture me, but I was not there. These people came in the spirit, and in order to see me my spirit had to be in my body, and since my spirit was out of my body they could not see me. I saw that after being unable to see me my enemy began to leave after noticing my absence. The first one flew away with arms spread like a bird, then 2 more flew out of my place, then the 4th left. I said, my God, they are leaving in turns instead of coming out the way they came in group. Since I failed to count them when they came, how would I know that they are all gone and no one is left? Then another left. I was wondering what to do and finally I decided to wait some time before coming back. They came at dawn but the sun was already rising. I began to hear my husband brushing for he had woken up. My physical body was hearing what my husband was doing, and since there was a link between the physical body and the spiritual body that was out of the house, I was feeling like a magnet drawing me back to my body. Yet I did not know whether my enemy had completely gone. I was complaining about the movement of my husband when I saw that I was already back in my body. That's when I saw that there was one of the evil people that came to capture me. Actually these people have been coming for many times to capture me but they were unsuccessful, but this time around I came face to face one of them. When I look at the person who was a lady, I recognize her. It was someone that I know, and when she saw me, she placed her finger on her ears and began to communicate with his companion that had left. She shouted to them, come back quickly, I found her. The prey that we have been looking for is here. I have found her. You left early but I decided not to leave. I said in myself, why is it that every time we come to capture her she is away from her house? Therefore I decided to stay and see what happened, and today I have found her. Come back quickly. When I saw that she was calling his colleague, immediately I saw that I had left my body and was flying in the sky in the height. At that moment this evil lady flew up in the sky following me in the height of sky. While she was flying and chasing me, I saw that she kept talking to her colleague and told them, since I found her she left her body and is flying away from me. I heard her colleague on the phone telling her, don't lose sight on her, keep chasing her, we are coming, give us your location and coordinate. Immediately I saw that 6 of them joining her and they were now 7 of them chasing me in the height of sky. After firing for some time finally I decided to stop there in space. These people came against me to assault me and capture me, and since my spirit was stronger I began to beat all of them. I was punching them in the name of Jesus Christ. When they saw that I was stronger and had the upper hand in this battle, they withdrew on the side. After consulting I saw them coming against me with swords, machete, spear and other instrument. I said, my God, they have all these weapons and are coming against me. That's when I saw that I pulled a sword from my hip. It was the same sword that I used to see in vision where I was sharpening it. I recognized the sword that I told my husband about. That's why I always ask the Lord to dress me with the armor of the Spirit. When I began to use this sword, I was able to cut and slash their sword, machete and spear. I saw them screaming in panic. She now has a sword. Be careful, she is using a sword. They are still believers that do not have the sword. When these witches saw that I had a sword that slashed their sword, they back off and began to call for reinforcement. Everything was happening in space like in a movie. They were on the phone calling for reinforcement when I heard their master saying, since you said that she has a sword that is strong and that is cutting your sword, I don't think you will defeat her. She is stronger than you. It is a risk for you. Just be around her and monitor her and don't lose sight. I am sending you demons. Let her fight with my demon. Minute after the promise of the Prince of Demon, I saw wicked spirit arriving. They were numerous and they were of all kind. Some were like human with animal characteristic, but other were completely animal and they were infernal beast. They were all kind of demon. When I observed how grotesque they were, I got terrified and said, my God, I cannot fight them all. And the way they were coming to me, brother, it was surreal. That's when I saw that I began to use my swords against them. I noticed that these wicked spirits were wearing metallic armor for protection, because my sword was often hitting their metallic cover. I was strong in this battle. At the same time I was full of dread. I saw that we are two. My spirit was a strong warrior, but my soul still had human emotion like fear. I experienced the same thing when I was hospitalized, and sleeping in that hospital my spirit was brutalizing and dragging vampires' spirit from the hospital, but my soul was full of fear. So the battle continued with these demons. I fought them with my sword like a warrior. Since they were covered with metallic armor of protection, I got in a fury that arose in my spirit, and I put aside my sword. I said, since they are protected from my sword with their metallic shield, I will fight them with my hand. Human spirit that called for this reinforcement of demon were stunned when they saw that I put aside my sword. When demons saw that I laid aside my sword, they were also surprised. But the first demon that came against me to engage me, I introduced my two hands in his mouth and I tore him apart and he died. I saw clearly dirty water coming like when an extraterrestrial entity is destroyed. So just like we hear the young David tore apart lion, this demon was torn apart. This is how strong our spirit become when we spend days in his presence in fasting and prayer. When this demon was killed, I heard human spirit reporting to the prince of the demon and accusing me of killing a demon. When the prince of demon heard the news of the death of his demon, I heard him exclaiming, if she is able to kill a demon, she is extremely dangerous. Remove the remaining demon that are fighting her. She is dangerous. I could hear the prince of demon speaking with regret and pain on the loss of his soldier. Other demon were ordered to pull out. I told them, come again, I am waiting for you. I heard the prince of demons saying on the phone, I am sending more reinforcement. I said, my God, these demon were strong. How come the prince of demon is saying that he is sending more reinforcement? Brother, when this new reinforcement came, it was like in a movie. I saw war tank and war chariot filled with giant demon soldiers advancing with a tremendous noises. You cannot count the number of tanks coming in space. It was an extraordinary army of Satan coming against me. I was contemplating these horses and giant demon riders and tanks advancing. I began to complain, Lord, what is this? What am I seeing here? When suddenly my spirit was returned to my body and I woke up breathing fast. I was in awe and dread of the army that was deployed against me. I related to my husband this battle that lasted approximately 8 hours in the spirit world but a few minutes in the physical. In the evening when I was praying, I heard the audible voice of the Lord. He told me, Adeline, in the morning the battle was strong. I said, Lord, but you left me alone to fight that battle. I said, Lord, you told me to get back in the body only when they had gone, but by mistake I returned to my body and one of them found me and the battle began with them. But I saw the tank, giant warrior and chariots with countless soldiers coming against me. The Lord said, my daughter, what you saw was the army of the enemy, that's Satan army. I said, Lord, that's why I saw demon riding horses for battle and tanks. It was too much for me and I returned to my body. The Lord said, it is me your God that saw that the battle was no longer at your level, and I decided to return you to your body. The enemy has no right to deploy his army against you. Why has he deployed his army? I said, Lord, but you left me there. The Lord laughed and said, I was watching everything and how you were fighting. I came to understand that often the Lord let us fight alone when he think we can do without him. That is why you must have a strong prayer life in order to battle your enemy by yourself, and the Lord will be proud of you when you can fight by yourself. The Lord was proud of me the way I fought the enemy. Already my spirit knew that a battle was coming and I must sharpen my sword. Sharpening the sword for battle is the prayer life with fasting. Brother, any battle that come in your life has been permitted by the Lord because you can overcome. If you lose in spiritual battle, it's because of sinful life and lack of discipline in prayer. Often the devil bring us sin and distraction so that we won't pray. That way he can have advantage. The Lord said, since Satan had deployed his army against you, I also commanded my army to descend when you had returned to your body, and my army fought his army. They died a lot and many escape. I am here to tell you, brother, we fight individual battle alone. It is when the battle gets stronger that the angel intervene. Brother, your angel is stronger in battle only when you pray, but when you don't pray your angel will not win.